This is Daddy Show. Step off.
It's time for the main event.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back, folks. Welcome to Tom Clark's Main Event. My name is Tom Clark, and you are tuned in. I forgot my intro. I've only been doing it for 10 freaking years. So, welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. Are you kidding me? What are you going to do? I hope you can see and hears me. I've got some signal strength issues happening at the moment. Bear with me. I changed the background. Check this bad boy out. Let me get out the way so you can see it. All right. If you've seen this photo, if you have ever gone onto the Google machine and have Googled NWA Arena, as I did earlier, because I wanted to change it up. As you can see, this is not old school 1980s NWA Arena. This was the night of the Crockett Cup tournament, the night when Nick Aldis faced Marty Scurll in Concord, North Carolina. I took this picture. So when you see this photo online, just know that your boy took it. This photo, this particular photo. Go right now and Google NWA Arena, and this photo will pop up. You're welcome. I took this. This was from where me and my kid were sitting, zoomed in a little bit. But anyway, I want to change the background up, and I just ended up using my own freaking photo. How you like that, baby? Let's get the ticker ticking across the bottom here. Let's see who is first at the table. Eric Jackson in the house. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Sugar Shane, what's going on? Super Dave Yarnell, what's going on? How are you? Brendan, what's going on? Ray all day. Will, happy Friday to you. Chad, too bad. My birthday was great, my friend. Thank you very much, Ray. You're the best. Thank you for wishing me happy birthday. For everybody that messaged me privately, thank you very much. I turned the big 50 this week. I wasn't going to dox my age. You better tell me I look good. If you don't tell me I look good, you and I are going to have a problem. I feel great. I'm in the prime. I'm in my prime. Know that, okay? I'm fading into the background because I still don't have a green screen behind me. And I got to bring a ring light from my house and put it here in the office. So I am currently recording the audio because we've had signal strength issues from the office here. However, no worries. If you subscribe to the show on the audio platforms, you will have no problem at all listening to me. I will be crystal freaking clear. Folks, while you're here, smash the like button. That would be awesome. I would very much appreciate it. It would mean loads to me. Let's continue saying hello. What's up, Tammy? How are you doing? Thanks for the happy birthday, man. Thank you. Let's see. Anthony Wanner says, what is the best word for SmackDown tonight? I don't know. Awesome. I don't know. E, what's up, my friend? Thank you for the birthday wish, by the way. Thank you, Alma. I appreciate it. I'm doing well. Hope you are. Mr. Wrestling Wikipedia. I don't know, dude. I don't know about all that. Carlos, what's going on? God, E, you do nothing but give me grief, don't you? Queen Charlotte is in the house, everybody. Please make her feel welcome. CRP, what's going on? Happy Friday to you, my friend. Chad says it's time for Kenny Omega, Sky Blue, and Brian Cage to report to WWE. Oof. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Mean Gene is in the hospital. Stage 2 lung cancer. Are you serious? You're kidding, right? Did you just find this out? Did you just find this out? Everyone, please send Mean Gene your best wishes. Please, everybody, take a moment out of your day to do that for me right now. She's a loyal viewer of the show. Everybody, please send her your best. I'm sure she would greatly appreciate it. Gene, fight, my friend. Fight. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Chris, how you doing, my friend? Jumpin' Jeff in the house. Let's see. Happy. Oh man, dude, you know how many people I ran into who said their birthday is in March, Jeff? It's crazy. Crazy. Let's see. The boy's at home, actually. Yep, the boy's at home right now. So there you go. Jean that watches the show here, Carlos. That's who we're talking about. She's in the crowd right now, for sure. What's up, Brino? Good to see you, my friend. Ooh, E, all the best to your mom, my friend. Everybody, please hang in there. Again, if I'm fuzzy right now, please forgive me. Bear with us. Hopefully, the signal gets better soon. So there you go. Gene says 2 weeks ago, lose. Oh man, Gene, please hang in there. Keep your head up. It's not over till. No, it's not over. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. I'm sure you've got family and friends there to support you, and that's awesome. Everybody, please keep Jean in your thoughts. Okay, send her your best wishes every chance you get. Jean, thanks for taking time out of your day to watch. It means a lot. It means a lot. Please hang in there. Hang in there. Keith says his birthday was Wednesday. Jeez. Crazy. All right. Let's get into the show, kids. That's what you came here for, right? So let's get into the show. You can read, can't you? This week, CM Punk did some CM Punk stuff on the Instagram. Iced coffee. Can you see it? Oh, it's disappearing. Oh. Listen, we're going to go through this. We don't have to spend a lot of time on it. I know a lot of you folks here would love to see Punk come back to AEW. I know some of you are probably sick of the guy by now, and maybe even more of you would like to see him go back to WWE. I don't know. I don't know. It's up to you and how you feel about this guy. Here is the post that was posted and deleted. First off, let's go back. We're going to mention the guy by name. Let me take a second to tell you this. Anyone that craps on Dave Meltzer, unless he just came after you personally, needs to understand that this guy has been doing what people like myself have been doing for a lot longer than people like myself have been doing it. Okay? He's been writing about the business of pro wrestling for a lifetime at this point, really, almost, and been getting paid to do it, been making money doing it. Okay? That we need to understand that. So anybody that wants to level hate at Dave, if you are in the pro wrestling writing or journalism or whatever you want to call it, business, then you need to understand that this guy opened doors that were closed or maybe weren't even existing before he came along and did it first. So please, everyone, show a little modicum of respect. You don't have to like everything he says. You don't necessarily have to agree with anything the guy says, but let's just be real. He did it before a lot of us ever did it. That's just being real, and that's cold hard facts, okay? But a lot of what happened with this Punk post recently supposedly came from this. Meltzer was on, I guess it was Twitter or Instagram, and probably Twitter, and he was responding to a question about why the build to Punk versus Mox at All Out was short and not heavily advertised. Meltzer says, quote, because Punk agreed to it, then AEW got legal letters saying he wasn't down with it and wasn't doing it, and they didn't know if he'd come until Tony put his foot down. There are a lot of nice things I can say about him, and you can absolutely argue his position on Moxley was correct, but you can't argue he willingly did what he was asked in that scenario, end quote. Punk fired back. If you did not see the post that was deleted, here it is, quote, sigh, all caps. I wasn't cleared to come back to wrestle yet. The plan was to wrestle at the pay-per-view. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I explained how I'd never seen a Rocky movie, and I thought the idea sucked. But if the boss wanted to do it, whatever. He said he wouldn't lose to me. I'd never experienced someone refusing to lose to me. I just laughed. I asked Tony if this was what he wanted. He said yes. He's the boss, so I said, okay, but I need to be cleared first. They kept saying it could just be a squash. So I didn't need to be cleared. I scoffed at that. My health is more important. Dave Meltzer is a liar. Jericho is a liar and a stooge. There were plans, but plans always change. But I'll never put a company above my health ever again, end quote. Number one, words float around this space all the time. And one of the words floating around is that Meltzer's source is Jericho, indeed Jericho, because Jericho is not a fan of Punk. So Jericho has no problem telling Dave whatever Dave wants to know about Punk. Now, is that true? I don't know. Who knows? Okay. But here's what I'll tell you. There's a couple things in Punk's statement here that I think deserve to be addressed. First of all, the dude's never seen Rocky 3. How have you never seen Rocky 3? Mr. T, Clubber Lang, you've never seen Rocky 3. Come on, Punk. Do better. Do better, Punk. That's number one. Number two, this idea that Mox supposedly, allegedly refused to lose to him. I'm not going to sit here and pass judgment on anybody because I don't know if any of this is true or what's true or whatever. But it does it sound like Mox that he would refuse to lose? That's up to you. That's up to you to decide. Not for me to say, don't know, wasn't there. The next part of this that seems a little funny is that he says, quote, they kept saying it could be just a squash. So I didn't need to be cleared, end quote. He didn't need to be cleared. The owner of the company is a very smart businessman. Call Khan whatever you want. Don't really care. If anyone says he's not a smart businessman, doesn't understand how smart the guy is. Okay. That's number one. Number two, why would you tell Punk that he didn't need to be cleared? If this happened, why in the world would that happen to begin with? And by the way, we're going to squash CM Punk. We're going to squash CM Punk. I want you to think about this. You guys know I've talked about it multiple times here on the show. I was in Chicago the night that Punk returned to the ring. Okay? It was the loudest pop I've ever heard in a live crowd that I've been in ever. Okay? People were going nuts. I had the best time, thoroughly enjoyed myself. It was a very, very fun night of pro wrestling. Amazing to see Punk back in the ring. I hadn't seen Punk in a ring since him and Daniel Bryan were tagging together against the Wyatts in WWE. That's the truth. Okay. So, great night. That's the guy you squash? The guy who, when he showed up, ratings went up, and when he left, ratings went down? This is the guy you squash? I'm not saying that was the plan. Don't know. Wasn't there. Okay. But if that was indeed what he was told, that it could be a squash, nah. No, we don't squash CM Punk in AEW. By all rights, you shouldn't squash CM Punk anywhere. Can we be real? Can we be real? I get it, Wilf. I'm talking about the crowd that I've been in, that I've personally been in. Loudest pop I've ever heard in the crowd that I've been in personally. Not that I've ever heard. Me that I've actually physically been in. Big time. CRP says, I mean, the first Rocky won an Oscar. Well, there you go. Ray says Rocky 3 is straight fire. Awesome movie. If Punk stinks for not knowing that movie. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Ray also says if Punk comes back, he's definitely going in as a heel. Maybe join the BCC. So let me get this straight, Ray. You believe in your heart of hearts they'll put him with Mox. Oh, wouldn't that be something? Nah, he's not BCC. I love Punk. I still love Punk, right? But he's not BCC. That's not the way he works. I get where you're coming from. But thank you, Tim. What's going up, brother? What's going on? Jeff says, I'm done with Punk. Gave him a chance when we went to A-Dub, but he burnt that bridge. You know what? I'm not going to get mad at you for that. I'm not going to get – you know what? It's okay. I totally get it. I'm not going to get mad at you for that. It's completely up to you guys what you guys think about this dude. I'm not here to sway anyone's opinion. Not my job. Not my place. Shane says, so sick and tired of hearing the Punk drama. I'd rather focus on wrestlers who care about the business. Looking forward to seeing Adam Cole back. Adam Cole's great, man. Can't wait to see him. Brandon says, if I remember, didn't WWE wanted to do that when Punk was supposed to face Roman at one point? So the story that Punk told wasn't necessarily a squash. It was that he kept getting told, we need you to make Roman look really, really strong. And they told him multiple times that he had to make Roman look really, really strong. And at some point, Punk's just like, I get it. Would you stop? He's got to look strong. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. That's what I took away from that. That's what I took away from that. There you go. CRP says, truth lies somewhere in between. I'm done talking about it. Banned from my show. I understand. It is what it is. It's amazing. Just when you think you're done with the Punk headlines, there you go. Let's move on with a little bit more here today, kids. Kenny Omega versus El Hijo del Vikingo. I got thoughts. I want everyone's thoughts before I chime in. Before we get cranking, get those likes up for me. If you've not smashed the like button, please do so. And share this feed on your Facebook page. And if you got Twitter, share it there too, Jack. If you got Reddit, share it there too. Instagram, share it. Smoke signals, carrier pigeon. Get the likes up for me, kids. Let's fill the room up as much as we can. Thank you. Much appreciated. What do you guys think about this match? Vikingo and Kenny Omega. I want to hear what you guys think about this. Let's see. Tim says, I shared it with my wrestling. I must have missed an earlier comment. Ray says, Kenny's manager definitely. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Because Kenny and the Bucks are going babyface. And Callis is not a good babyface. Let's be honest. Tuesday night, Chris Featherstone saying, Bull, prove it, E. Send me the link. E, prove it. Send me the link. I don't believe you. Tammy says she enjoyed it. Brendan says it was pretty good. The aftermath should be interesting. Yeah. It's pretty good. Tim says best main event in a while. Try again. Rewind. Best main event match in a while. CRP says really good match. Not sure if it's as good as their last match where Omega dropped the title, but I haven't seen that one in a while. Chess says, I haven't seen it yet, but a friend of mine said the best match in a long time. Brino said, it's weird to me when people's reasoning for not liking Punk is how he deals with his issues at work. Like they don't hate their jobs in real life as well. Well said. People are allowed to articulate bad work experiences. 100%. 100%. E, send me the link or it didn't happen. Prove it. I know what his show is, E. Come on. Send me the link. Wilf, were you here when the show started today? I took this picture. Go Google NWA Arena, and this specific picture comes up. I took this at the Crockett Cup in Concord. This picture belongs to me. Okay. Everyone's probably used it, but this picture was mine. Shree says 5-star. There you go. Shree, is that a picture of you singing karaoke? I've always wanted to ask you that. Brendan says it did happen. It was great. Talking about the main event. Oh, the birthday? Shut up. Did he really? I owe Chris a huge thank you. Isn't that terrible? Wilf, it's all good, dude. No worries, man. Hey, Chad, the feeling's mutual. Chris is my man. I'm telling you. He is, 100%, dude. Chris Featherstone's a quality human being. Sean Pasquarello says Rhodes or Reigns at Mania. Yes! I'm just playing. Rhodes all the way. But, however, don't be surprised if Reigns beats him. Nothing would surprise me from that company, baby. Tree says, I sang and it ran for over 20 years. Wow. Nice. There's moments when I think I can sing and then I hear myself apart from a radio or music and I'm like, yeah, no, I can't sing. Shane says, could you see Don Callis dropping Omega and maybe start managing Ricky Starks as he could be the future? Well, see, here's the thing. If they strap someone to Callis or strap Callis to somebody, that person really needs to go up, right? So if it's Starks needs to go up, and then Starks is going to have to turn heel again, which he could. But, man, some of their top guys, all three members of the BCC are heel now. I'm not crazy about that. I'm really, really not. Tim says, any match that involves El Hijo del Vikingo is always a classic. Jeff says some crazy spots in that match. Chris says, the difference is I don't bury my bosses and I don't make $5 million and I don't punch vice presidents in the face. Also don't have a reputation of being a complete language. My job and Punk's job, very different. That being said, I get your point. C, I do. I get your point as well. But I also see where Brino's coming from that, and listen, Chris, to the point of how much Punk made or makes, whatever, I think sometimes we do forget that these guys are only human behind the curtain. And they do get frustrated and upset and depressed and happy and sad like all the rest of us. And sometimes they talk when maybe they shouldn't. And sometimes they get happy when maybe they shouldn't. You see what I'm saying? Not excusing anyone's behavior. Obviously, putting your hands on someone in a situation where you are not physically provoked is never advisable in any environment ever. Okay. I've taught my kid for years, we don't solve our problems with our fists. We hire people to do that. You see how easy that rolled off the tongue? For all you know, that's the truth. So, but at the same time, no, we can't. You can't justify shenanigans and horseplay. Horseplay. I don't know where that came from. I get both of your points. 100% though. I appreciate you. Chad says, I've seen the other day, Alexa Bliss has skin cancer found. Oh, interesting. I didn't even hear that. Crazy. Tim says, which is your favorite match of El Hijo de Vikingo of all time? Yes. I don't watch a lot of AAA or a lot of, oh God, don't tell me the other company in Mexico, CMLL. I'll be honest with everybody here. At one time, I did try to catch as much as I possibly could on the YouTube and various other places, if only for myself to see what was going on. A lot of the lucha style in the country of Mexico, I'm not really crazy about. I don't care for the no tagging. And can I be straight with everybody here? It's really weird for me to watch a luchador match with a bunch of dudes at 50 and over who are barely moving around. No disrespect. It is what it is. There's a lot of Japanese stars who are getting up in age and they're still in the ring killing it for New Japan. So again, no disrespect. It's just not really for me personally. Okay. I always wish safety and to everybody in the ring, obviously. And just because your gimmick or your style may not be for me doesn't mean I have anything against you. All right. But it's just not my style sometimes. Right. So I found that was happening a lot. And I forget which company, it's either CMLL or AAA that has the women come out dancing with the wrestlers and they're practically stark naked. Hey, I'm a dude. I get it. You're not killing me. Trust me. But after a while, it kind of feels like, why are we still doing this? I don't know. Is that weird? I don't know. Like, why are we still doing that? And that's their culture. It doesn't matter. That's their thing, right? It's okay. It's okay. Chad says Sting looked great Wednesday. He did. What was Sting wearing, kids? Sting had a puffy winter jacket and black pants on. Can I be honest with you? It's almost as though he didn't have his gear bag with him. Or he didn't know he was going to work. Now, I don't know. Don't call me out on this because I don't know. And by the way, AEW doesn't have like an on-site seamstress or, someone putting together gear. I suspect they've got somebody. I kind of found that odd. Did that hit anybody else? I kind of found that odd just a little bit. It just seemed like he wasn't ready to go. No disrespect. Maybe I'm wrong. Tim says CMLL is the one that brings the dancing naked women. Yeah. You're never going to get put back on my screen. You keep being mean and nasty all the time. Jeez. Hey, guys, thanks for getting those likes up. You guys are the best. Let me give my thoughts real quick on this match. I'm not going to sit here and spend the next 30 minutes talking about, it's just not enough selling. It's not enough selling and do my high spots. It's 2023. If you are still complaining about high spots, if you're still complaining about spot fests, if you're still complaining about not selling too much, why are you still watching wrestling? Why are you wasting your time? Or don't you want to be happy? Don't you want to have a good day? Don't you want to wake up and have good things to look forward to? Aren't you tired of always being negative? Sound like an infomercial. I have an idea and I have a suggestion for all of you who are upset every time at a match like this. Don't watch it. Because you know what's not going to happen by you complaining online? No one in CMLL or AAA or AEW or New Japan or WWE or NXT or Impact Wrestling or GCW, no one, because you complain, is going to say, Spot Fest. I never thought about it like that. Let's don't do that anymore. Free country. Do what you want. I don't care. Complain. Me, I likes to be happy. I don't get it. I'll never understand that thought process. I'm going to watch it so as I can hate it. Okay, well, go with God, brother. Go with God, brother. I don't know what to tell you. CRP says Josh versus Vikingo had a pretty great match a couple months back. I can't keep up with CMLL and AAA. Probably him versus Omega. Honestly, just not sure which match. That's fair. Ooh, Brino got a big one. Brino says, to be fair, if I'm at work and my door is ever kicked in by multiple people, I'm going to probably hit people in the face too. As much money as it is still a job. Titles and dollar amounts mean nothing at the end of the day. I understand where you're coming from. However, a job over everything doesn't work anymore. People now want to be treated what they're worth at work, and if not, they leave. Turnover rates across the country don't lie. You know why I like this, Brino? Because you and Chris are being men. You're not upset. You're not getting, ticked off at each other. This isn't a work, brother. This isn't, I'm getting mad at somebody. Ooh, you guys are grown adults having a healthy debate. That's what my show is all about. I like that a lot. Ray says, upset? Drink pumpkin coffee. It works for me. You know what? I can't really argue that. Jeff, thank you for watching, my friend. I appreciate you. Jeff says, if you didn't like the match, you're not a real wrestling fan. Talking about Omega and Vikingo, I can't say that. You can't say that, Jeff. I mean, I guess you can. I'm not going to stop you. But you can't really say that because it's not really a lot of people's style. Again, I get tired of people who complain all the time because I think it's nonsensical and it doesn't really, it's not going to get you where in your life. So don't you want to be happy? But I'm also not going to tell you that those people are wrong because they've got the style they enjoy watching. I could also say that if you didn't like Flair versus Steamboat any of the times they worked, you're not a wrestling fan. But guess what? I'll bet there's people that didn't care for that feud too much. I don't know who they are, what planet they live on, right? But look, what I like, you may not like, and vice versa. So I won't go as far as to say you're not a real wrestling fan. Because can we be honest? There wasn't a lot of real, actual, honest to God wrestling in that match. But the word wrestling, the definition of that has been altered and has changed and either evolved or de-evolved, depending on your opinion, right? Through the years, it's hard to know what people's personal definition of wrestling is. Wrestling is a very personal thing for people, man. It truly, truly is. Chad says, what do you think for FTR moving forward? I can see them going back to WWE like they would just get used in curriculum. I don't know. They've got this thing with the guns now where they're saying if you beat us, we'll never tag together again. We're done in AEW. It could be a prelude to them going back to WWE. I don't think it will be, but you know what? Anything can happen. And you know what, Brandon? Some people hide behind this too. Some people use wrestling can be anything. Well, to me, wrestling isn't a bunch of fat dudes busting light tubes over each other's heads and almost bleeding to death in an ER. To me, I don't say that's wrestling. But guess what? To that crowd of 15 people that paid $10 a pop for those guys that made virtually no money, got enough for maybe a tank of gas and a cup of coffee, that's wrestling. Shade properly thrown. But you know what? To that little crowd, that's wrestling. I mean, I disagree. And see, people hide behind that. They do hide behind, well, wrestling can be anything. Omega does it. Omega said it, but wrestling can be anything. Well, I would disagree. Doesn't mean I'm right and he's wrong. Doesn't mean he's wrong and I'm right. Doesn't mean he's right and I'm wrong. You get it. I put the brain in the robot, you know. Anyway. Yeah, I heard the same thing. The FTR just re-signed. Yeah. Funny, huh? Funny. The news is abounding, kids, that a third AEW program is possibly in the works. I don't have any details for you right now, but this is what's being talked about as we speak. Supposedly it's going to be an hour long, and if it happens, it will be on Saturday night. Saturday night's all right for a fight, right? We'll see what happens. What do you guys feel about another hour of AEW? How do you guys feel about that? Somebody send a link of Chris on Pancakes and Power Slam singing happy birthday to me, because that'd make my day. Somebody send that to me. Please and thank you. I'd love you guys if you did that. How do you guys feel about a third AEW program? Are you down for that? Do you think they just need to focus on Dynamite? Do you think they need to get Rampage shored up to where it should be and put more emphasis on that program? Do you think Ring of Honor just started? Why would you mess with that? And I don't know. I kind of feel like a third program would be a fantastic idea because at this point, is another hour too much? In my opinion, it's not. You still have a massive locker room. You still have talent that barely get on TV. Elevation and Dark are are streaming on YouTube. You can actually stop those whenever you want to, can't you? Or you can cut them to 30 minutes or whatever. I mean, it's not like it's a nationally inked television deal on primetime television, right? So like you can pivot whenever you want to, man. You can always pivot. Yeah, Jeff, they've got Dark and Elevation. So they got Dark, Elevation, Rampage, and Dynamite. They have 4 technically right now. And the Ring of Honor Honor Club is back up, weekly show. So technically it's 5. Tim says, I don't mind a third hour of wrestling. Brennan says, if they do another showcase, the talent you hardly see on the others like WC. You know what? And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Chris says, if it's a recap show, pulling stuff I don't see from YouTube shows, that's good. I'll probably check it out. Interesting. That would be a way to go, wouldn't it? What's up, Dave Down Under? How are you, my friend? Thank you. Hey, listen, can I say something real quick to everybody here? To everybody that wished me happy birthday on Tuesday, I very much appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. I don't advertise that stuff. Every year, my wife puts the announcement on the Facebook and tags me and wishes me happy birthday. And every year I feel compelled to say, thanks everyone for the birthday wishes. I hate all of you. I did that last year because I've been doing it for years. And I forget who it was. Somebody got a little offended by that. So I had to, I got a little private message. It wasn't very nice. So I had to go back and just say, these are just jokes, kids. Everybody relax. Just why not move those to TV and get them off YouTube? Because it's not as easy as that. You need to sign a deal with a network if that's the goal. And you can't. If it was that easy to go sign a deal with the network, I'd have a weekly pro wrestling show right now. You know what I mean? You got to think about that, man. Their ink has to be put to paper. Deals had to be made, and then you got to worry about ad revenue. Are you putting the money up, or are they? You got to make sponsors happy. If it's streaming on YouTube, as long as you're not coming out and having sex on the YouTube. You can always censor it after the fact. It's not live, it's taped, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So Ray says, I was first to wish you happy birthday. Yeah, you were. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Chad says, I'm okay with it. I was hoping they would use it for ROH. But well, they've got Honor Club though and they've got Honor Club it's $10 a month, dude. It's nothing. That's what New Japan is. I'm down. I've already got it. I love it. I've had Honor Club for years. I get where you're coming from. To try to get other wrestlers featured, lots of guys you see one week and then not for a while again. Very true. Brandon, I think so. I don't know if it's clickable, but I can copy and paste. Go ahead and try it. I don't know if it will be I can click, but I'll copy and paste it and I'll watch it. I should be watching Chris's show. I wonder if Chris watched my show. Hey, Chris, if you watch my show, love you. Love you, brother. Chris has a recap show on Saturday afternoon, breaking up. Ooh, you know what they should do it? 6:05, baby. 6:05. Are you kidding me? Did you see that? There's nothing there. It's all up here. That's okay. 6:05. And put it on TBS. They're already there. Oh, my God. I'm so excited. If you don't, you suck. Okay. Call Tony. Tell him I got it figured out, baby. It's figured out. Like knowing that company's thought of this. One little dude in North Carolina. And Tony Khan goes, oh, brilliant. Oh, that's fun. Chris, I blew right past your comment, man. I got myself all excited. Shane says A-Dub just needs to take Rampage and make a completely new show starting at 6. Oh, Shane, you suck. I totally didn't see your comment. I swear to God. Totally didn't see it. Oh, cool. So, Brandon, you have got I can't. Because, see, when I hover, can I take? Nope. Darn it. Because, see, when I hover with my cursor, I can't do anything with it. Darn it. Darn it all to heck. That's okay. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Ray says third hour could get lots of pipelines who get no airtime, a shot like Prince Puma's gang. Prince Puma's gang. Prince Puma. That's Ricochet. Am I missing something? Yeah, I'm all in. I'm in like Flint. Chad says MLW on Tuesdays, like Shane said on Reels. Yep, 100%. 100%. Really cool. Dude, I was watching MLW when MJF was still there before anybody really knew who MJF was. Prince Nana. Thank you, Ray. Well, I can't, Jeff. I can't. Because, see, on my end, I'm actually in the studio. When I hover with my cursor, it gives me the option to show the comment or to hide the comment. So I can't copy and paste anything. Maybe I can after the fact. Message me in my, you know what? Send it to my inbox. Would you do that for me, Brendan? Would you do that? I much appreciate you, friend. Send that to me in the inbox on Facebook. You can do that. They're open. Yeah. So there you go. There you go. Kids with your third AEW program. Another really quick hit. Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston will be the main event for the RH World Championship as Supercard of Honor. How do we feel about this? Is there any chance Eddie Kingston wins this title at all? Anyone? Here's what I'll say. There's a lot of people out there who would love to see Eddie Kingston with a title, much less the world title, in any company at this point. But here's what I'll tell you. This is just me talking. It doesn't have to mean it's gospel. So everybody relax. In my opinion, you can only run this underdog thing so many times, folks, until the underdog actually finally wins. Okay? Until the underdog actually finally wins. Now, I could be wrong, and they could run this thing with Eddie until Eddie retires. And Eddie never attempts to go anywhere else. He's happy where he's at. The character you see on socials is not really as mad as he makes out. You have to remember something, children. Pro wrestling is a work, and you are getting worked all the time. In this day and age of let's all be honest and be ourselves, let's be real, shut up. Pro wrestling's work. Okay, you don't believe me? Ask Bray Wyatt, ask Danhausen. Okay, ask MJF, ask Orange Cassidy. Pro wrestling's work. Okay, so let's say that he never gets a title. He never gets a title ever in that company, and one day he retires, and it's the end of that. But in my opinion, the underdog thing works to a point, and then you got to stop. Right? Ambrose and WWE had to eventually win the title if they were going to keep spotlighting him. You know, he was the black sheep. He was the X Factor. He was the rebel. Okay, but if you're going to put him on TV every week and he is going to continue getting red hot, at some point he's going to have to win the title. He did. Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was a rebel. He was the ne'er-do-well. He was, how often do you do well? Ne'er. That's how often. So he marches through his own beat. Yada, 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 yada. Well, okay, but if you don't want to be title champion, don't put him on TV all the time. He's getting hotter and hotter, 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 hotter. Well, they did because he had to. Daniel Bryan, same thing when he was Daniel Bryan. You see where I'm going with this? Same idea. So they cooled down Eddie Kingston quite well because they pull him off TV. You don't see him for 6 months at a time. Hey, I'm not throwing shade. I don't know why they're doing that. I'm just saying. So if they do a nice little build-up to this, and it's not much of a build-up, the match is next week, right? Jeez. If they were to do a nice little build-up to this, whenever it is, then the problem with it is, and he doesn't win, what then? Right back to what he was doing before. Does this make sense? So in my opinion, it has to happen at some point. Do you guys want to see this? Tim says, my opinion, maybe Claudio retain his RH title. Brandon, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Chris says he wins it. Switchblade interferes. We're done. Thanks, everybody. Good night. We're done. That's genius. That's absolute genius. Absolute genius. I love it. I couldn't love it more if I had to. I couldn't love it more if you paid me to. I think that's absolutely freaking perfect. I can't love it anymore. That's working for me all day and all night. Are you kidding me? Jay and Eddie have history. It fits. I like when puzzle pieces fit. I'm down. Jay says, no, I don't think Eddie will be. I really, really want him to. He's got a lot of fans out there, Gene. That's for sure. Sheree says it's going to be a good match, but Claudio is winning. I got to be honest with you, kids. I'm not real happy on all three of these guys turning heel. I'm really, really not. CRP says MLW and the weird contract they have with Reels. I still don't understand with Reels moving a lot of their content to Peacock and Peacock not being allowed to show other wrestling content due to the deal they cut with WWE. That's Vince, baby. That is Vince. That is Vince saying, listen here, pal. Just like he did back in the day when he threatened the pay-per-view providers and threatened the cable companies. If you carry Starrcade, you will not carry WrestleMania. We won't allow you to. That's what he does. Listen, there's no ghost of Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon still looms large in that company. He's still around. Anybody thinks he's not around has not been paying attention, or maybe has never watched that company before, because you guys should know he's still around. Danny says, have a feeling Switchblade shows up at WrestleMania 39. He could, but in what capacity? How many people? All right, Danny, in a crowd that size, you would have to believe quite a few people, thousands of people will know who he is, right? Would it be enough to make an impact? No pun intended. No pun intended. Robbie says, your thoughts on which company Naomi goes to now that she's a free agent? Anywhere she wants. Just like Mercedes Moné, it's an open book for her. Trinity Star, right? I'm down. Chad said, yeah, heard an update on Santana. He got hurt. No, I have not heard a thing. I guess he's still working or still working on getting back. CRP says Claudio retains due to Switchblade interference. I'm assuming Jay White signs with AEW and RH in that situation based on their story and NJ. I agree. In my opinion, that's what we're looking at. My opinion. Were you surprised that Slim J turned heel last week? Slim J's always been heel, hasn't he? Did I miss something? What's up, Gary? Everybody, please welcome Gary Benfield to the show, owner and promoter of HBW. Gary, my friend, I have not forgot about you. I swear to you. You have no idea. The past 2 weeks in the House of Tom have been nuts. More details on that later, but I've not forgot about you. Crazy. Time flies. Do you guys ever I don't care what kind of job you have, whether you're at a desk or in a warehouse, doesn't make a difference to me. Do you ever just look at your watch or look at your phone and go, oh my God, it's 4:00. Do you know what I'm saying? Dude, that happens to me every day. Went out of town this week, went to the mountains for my birthday and enjoyed myself immensely. But, it takes me off the desk and off the computer. And then as soon as I get back, I'm still swamped and it's all good. I'm not complaining. But, man, so much stuff to do, baby. So much stuff to do. Danny says maybe in the Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns match. You know what? You know why I wouldn't want that? You know why I wouldn't want that, Danny? Because then I'd have to sit there and listen to them once again talk about AEW and once again talk about another company that they can't mention on TV. And I'm like, isn't it the same company that wanted you to believe that there was no other great company on the planet except them? You know what I'm saying? And I ranted about this last week, and I'm not opposed to them doing that. I'm actually down with that. But, you don't need to talk about any other company. You've got how many years of history back to the 60s with that company? It's not necessary. Now, they would talk about Japan. They would say the word Japan quite a bit. Like you and I both ran the same Bullet Club in Japan, right? So, I guess if it works, it works. And as I've been on the record of saying before, if Jay's happy and healthy and it's what he wants to do, it's his career, his life, let him sign with wherever he wants to. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'll support Jay White all the time because I think the dude is freaking excellent. Excellent. JD says, hi, Tom Clark from the Northland. Are you covered up in snow, JD? Is that what you're telling me? Derek says, I know Goldberg gets a lot of heat, but I still love the guy. I have nothing but quality words to say about Bill Goldberg. Quality words and quality thoughts about Bill Goldberg. That's 100% true. The guy's a quality human being. Okay. Anybody that throws hate at Goldberg is throwing hate at the wrong people. You want to throw hate at somebody, throw hate at WWE for bringing him back as many times as they did. Okay. Don't be hating on Bill. Bill takes his payday. You take a payday too. And all of you are. Okay. And I am too. And that's just how it is. You're paid to do a job. If your job is to dig ditches, you're going to be a ditch digger. And that's what you're getting paid for. Your job to stack boxes in a warehouse, you're getting paid to do that job. If your job is to wrestle in a wrestling ring, that's what you get paid for. You're going to get paid to do your job. I just don't believe in this. Let's blame this guy and let's hate him. Bill Goldberg doesn't show up to WWE and put his trunks on and jump in the ring unannounced. They sign him. They book him. They want him. And we get mad at Bill. What? Listen, it's kind of like people get mad at Brock for getting booked the Brock way all the time and never losing ever. And he's always a dominant monster. Well, whose fault is that? Think it's Brock's? Think Brock won't do business? Nonsense. Hogwash, I tell you. Hogwash. He's a professional. Okay? Don't come to me and tell me this is Brock's fault. Shut up. Stop. No more than it's Goldberg's fault. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? JD says Sonny and 48. Well, it's 48. Sonny not going to do much for you. So there you go. All right, kids, we got about 10 minutes left, baby. We're going to open this floor up. Ray, it's your favorite time of the program. Ray's favorite time of my program is the end. How you like that? Ray's like, I like Tom and everything, but I can't wait till this is over so I can ask him a question. You're my man. Go to the fort. Oh, I owe Chris something for this. Chris, I'm going to send a message to Chris. If you know what, I'm going to send a message to Chris. I'm going to do it publicly on the Facebook, and I'm going to tell him. Yeah, dude, up here it was a high of 80 today as well. Yeah. But I'm in North Carolina where we get like snow, flash flood, and 80-degree weather within the span of 2 weeks. Remember that time we got frogs down here? Frogs came from the sky. It was the craziest thing you've ever seen. North Carolina, baby. You know what? If you don't like the weather in North Carolina, wait 10 minutes. It'll change. You're good. Mount Rushmore Canadian who? You didn't specify. Can I put Wayne Gretzky on there? I'm just saying, we got to get Pacific. Chris, you know, me and Chris are good, man. Me and Chris are awesome. Chris got me a gig writing at 2 different websites. I think it was 2. He and I worked together at Bleacher Report at one time. God, I'm so fuzzy. It's not even, I'm not even playing. God, it's been a long time. Dude, I would go to Chris for professional advice over the years. Every time I got frustrated with the writing gig, I would go to him and ask, like, hey, what do you think? That kind of thing. And he would either, you know, he always encouraged me to keep going. He always encouraged me. To this day, he encourages me. You know, I took that from, who is it? One of the Wayans brothers has a new comedy special on Netflix. Is it Marlon Wayans? I think it's Marlon Wayans. It's not bad. The whole show is about the Chris Rock situation with Will Smith. The entire special. Not some, not a segment, the entire special. Oh, there's Ray. Hang on, Ray. You took too long. Brendan says, here's a question for you. It's 2 questions. Who do you have beat MJF for the world title? And who do you have beat Gunther for the IC title? I think it's easier to beat MJF than it is Gunther. And I'll tell you why. Because MJF has been painted as this guy, even though he proved differently in the Bryan Danielson feud, right? He's been painted this guy that takes shortcuts. You know, he's not straight up classic pro wrestler. He'll do whatever it takes to win, that kind of thing, yada, yada, yada. I think it's easier to beat a guy like that than it is to beat Gunther because, can't believe I'm calling him that, Walter, all right? It's easier to beat a guy like MJF, in my opinion, because with Walter, he's so physically dominant. So how are you going to beat that guy? You need a guy that can either outpace him, outlast him, move quicker than he can, and stay away from him, and, you know, jab, punch, and move, or you get a guy who's physically capable enough to match power for power, which is not going to be easy. Josh says, do you think WrestleMania is going to be good to watch next weekend? Perhaps. Perhaps. We're going to get into it next next program. We're going to get into it. Tim says, top 5 greatest dunkers of all time. You got to say Magic, not Magic. You got to say Dr. J. I got to say Dr. J. I got to say, I got to put Jordan up there. It's just, I have to. I got to say Dr. J. I got to say Jordan. I got to say Vince Carter. Gosh, that's a tough one. Daryl Dawkins, maybe. It's tough. That's tough, man. That's only 3. That's tough. Ray says, Eric B., Rakim, or Digital Underground? I'll get Eric B. and Rakim, even though I love Digital Underground. Part 2, Lil Jon or Karis? Lil Jon. Yeah. And if Adam Cole came to your house and invited you and your family to go-kart racing and said you could bring a friend, could I come? Yes. And later get coffee and 2 buttermilk biscuits. Yes, sure. Why not? You know what I'd love to do if I ever met Adam Cole, got a chance to meet him or interview him, whatever? I'd collect all these questions, just let him read them and see what he thought of them. I think, you know what? It feels like he wouldn't be able to get through 3 of them without laughing himself silly. I really believe he'd get a complete case. It's so random. It's so random, Ray. It really, really is. Shane says, what was the worst wrestling match that you saw that was so hyped up and didn't live up to the hype? I hates to be negative too awful much, dude. I hates to be negative too awful much. The floor is open, right? Who is it what wrestling match that got hyped and didn't live up to the hype? I don't know, because it's all subjective. You know what I mean? It's all subjective. Like, I don't know, dude. Okay. This may not be a popular answer. The first Will Ospreay and Ricochet match in Japan. If you guys don't happen to remember what happened, the fallout of that match was instantaneous and was massive, okay? And everybody and their brother had an opinion about that match. A lot of people hated it. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people said it's never been this great. This is amazing. Best thing I've ever seen. When I saw it, I had a mixed bag of feelings because I thought, it's great. It's great, amazing action. It's all rehearsed. Every single bit of it. But then I reminded myself, as I reminded you kids earlier, that it's 2023, whatever the year was. And if you're going to hate on wrestling for being choreographed, then at this point, why are you still watching? Back in the day, these guys worked it out in the ring. They didn't rehearse anything. They didn't talk about it. They rarely ever worked through a match. I've been in so many locker rooms where guys are working through matches before they ever get in the ring. They don't call anything in the ring. A lot of guys don't anymore. That entire match was rehearsed from start to finish. Now, I don't know if I mean physically rehearsed, but at least discussed. It's okay to do that to some degree, but and the rest of the match should have been called in the ring. Now, you know how many people loved that match and thought it was the greatest thing I've ever seen? I didn't. And I have no hate for either Ricochet or Will Ospreay. I really don't. It just wasn't for me like it was for a lot of other people. So there's my easy answer. Brent says, Andy Kaufman going to the Hall of Fame in my mind. If any celebrity, absolutely. Dude, it's amazing it took this long. It's amazing it took this long. Andy Kaufman is a freaking genius. Genius. Chris says, I got 14-0 Sting beating MJF, retiring and setting up a tourney for the belt. Book it. Chris, let me ask you a question. You put an LOL on it. But if any veteran that's still working today, can you name anybody that it would make the most sense besides Cena, right? And even then, look how much older Sting is than Cena. And it wouldn't be a charity win either, would it? Sting has held his own against guys a third his age at this point. Held his own, right? You know what? I say book it. Why not? If MJF were to have to go out for some reason, book it. There's far worse things that could happen with that title. Far worse things. Chad said, Chris has told us about you guys past. Yeah, Chris is my man. Dude, if me and Chris lived in the same state, we'd be hanging out. We'd be hanging out. Which pet do you love more, Patrick the cat or the dog? Wicket. You remember my cat's name. That's funny. I love all my pets equally. Robbie says, here it is, the Mount Rushmore question of the week. What is your Mount Rushmore of small territory companies who produced more wrestlers who went to the big promotions? Jim Crockett Promotions, corner of the NWA is number one. Number one. Absolutely. That's number one. AWA is number two. World Class Championship Wrestling is number three. You'd have to say Mid-South, very much Mid-South. Number four, which later became the UWF, and then Memphis Wrestling, maybe. Maybe you'd say, well, Memphis Wrestling kind of fed these other companies. WCW would have to be, even though you couldn't call them a small territory company. Wilf, back to your question of greatest Canadian wrestlers. Bret Hart would have to be on there. I think, oh man, Jerry. I mean, how do you not put Jericho on there, kids? You know what I mean? Forget about your personal feelings about Chris. Chris has got to be on that, doesn't he? Wouldn't it make sense for Chris to be on that? So Chris, Bret Hart. Oh, that's tough. I mean, not tough, but tougher, perhaps. You know what I mean? I didn't want to ignore you there. CRP says Mania has a great card this year with storylines that mostly make sense. Should be a really good day two show. Ray, what did I not answer for you? I answered your question, brother. I promise you. Did you guys see the base I bought 2 weeks ago? She's pretty. I'm not kidding you. I got to put it on the Facebook. It's so pretty. Oh, my God. Stay tuned for that picture, baby. It's freaking great. I bought myself another birthday present. I make no apologies, okay? No apologies. To Wilf, Goldberg versus Lesnar doesn't live up. Hey, man, it's subjective. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Chad had the same answer. Cherie says, yeah, but she's the one to start the whole rock and roll wrestling. Talking about Cyndi Lauper. Plus, she's been relevant. I thought Cyndi Lauper's already in the Hall of Fame. And listen, everybody, remember, it's not a real Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Remember that. Don't forget. Chris says, if Rick Rude doesn't hurt his back in Japan, what would his career have looked like coming back into the fold with the Attitude Era kicking into gear? Ooh. Watching Rick Rude in a 3-piece suit working with the NWO and DX didn't look right, did it? Didn't look right. I think the sky could have been the limit for this guy, dude. He got better at talking through the years. He always looked like $1 million. Died way too young. That's a great question, dude. I love that question, actually. A few more kids. We're going to take it home. Everybody talking about Goldberg. Don't hate on Goldberg if he ends up working a match for AEW. Don't hate on him. Well, I guess you can. Do they need him? No, they don't. Would he spike a rating? You better freaking believe it. Would he sell pay-per-views? You better know he would. Would he sell tickets? Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay? And if anybody believes I'm wrong, you're wrong. Okay? This is all subjective, as we've said a million times. But don't sit there and tell me that he wouldn't sell tickets. You're wrong. Okay? They don't need him. And who would he face? Bill's a quality human being. I'm sorry, he is. And it's okay if you don't like him in the ring or whatever your taste is. But don't tell me he wouldn't make an immediate impact in AEW, because he absolutely would. He absolutely would. I like this. Dude, I love this guy. I do. Jake Hager. I was about to call him Jack Swagger. Derek's looking forward to Lesnar and Omos. Let's all point to Derek and laugh, children. I'm just kidding. I had to do that. Are you seriously looking forward to it, or are you messing with me? I mean, the first spot they ran was a train wreck. Omos went to clothesline him, and either Brock didn't get ready or Omos. Honestly, I think Omos tripped over his own feet and didn't hit. He hit Brock too far from the rope, and then Brock didn't have enough oomph to put himself over. And supposedly Brock went straight home after that. Brock Lesnar is the most bankable star your company's had in 10 years, maybe longer, and you don't have anything for him to do? Like, this happened before. How many years did Randy Orton have nothing to do, and they just booked him against whoever, right? This happens all the time. AJ, same thing, nothing to do, right? It happens all the time in that company, all the time. All right, kids, we're close. We're close, kids. Did Goldberg correct you for the usage of you and oh, Chris, how do you get it wrong to begin with? And you call yourself a journalist. I don't know if you do or not. How do you get that wrong? Goldberg corrected you. Oh, no, whoa. You corrected it. Oh, my God. Okay, all right. You know what's worse than Goldberg correcting you is you corrected Goldberg. Don't correct the champ. Don't correct the legend. Are you crazy? Oh, my God. Did he like rip at you or something, rip on you? That's funny. Chris says they have stuff for him to do. He just didn't want to do it because it is terrible. Omos is the best option. Omos is the best option in that locker room full of talented people. Hey, did you say 43 minutes in was Chris's song? Man, I owe Chris a song. When's his birthday? Oh, you know what I could do? I could play bass for him on his birthday. I could record it and put it on the Facebook. I did that for my sister one time. Sorry. I did that for my sister one time and sent it to her in a direct message and just played her happy birthday on the bass. A long time ago. Sorry. It's been a long week. Anyway, my apologies. Yeah. Woo. Happy thoughts, kids. Happy thoughts. Jess says WWE Superstars on Wheel of Fortune next week. Man, they are just WWE is a freaking household name, right? I mean, like you guys know that. They've been around for years. The only thing that's ever going to wreck that company is when they sell it. Because here's what I'll tell you. In my opinion, when the day comes to sell this company, if they get a whole bunch of people involved that don't know what they're doing, this company's gone. And people talk, you know what? People always talk about Walmart, right? Especially if you live in the South, you know what I'm talking about. Walmart, all the time. Walmart will not be here forever. Do you want to know how I know that? Because nothing's here forever, except Keith Richards. Keith Richards is here forever, okay? He ain't going anywhere, no matter what happens to the planet, all right? Save the planet, save Keith Richards. Keith Richards will save the planet. Are you kidding? No problem. But everything else is going to be gone one day. Walmart won't last forever. WWE will not be here forever. People ask me, is AEW going to end? Yeah, it will. One day. We all are. The clock's ticking, kids. But like, there's so much money and there's so much power and influence in so many places that company is entrenched in pop culture. Hard to believe that company go anywhere anytime soon. But as I said, it won't be here forever. Something to think about. Something to think about. Chad says, how's this for an idea? Tom guests on Chris. Dude, I would love to be on Chris's show. If he invites me, I'll absolutely be there. I'm not going to invite myself on his show, but I should totally invite him to mine. Why have I never done that? You know why? Because I have signal issues on my show. You know what I have to do? I'm not even kidding about this. There's an office space not far from me, like legit. I guess you rent by the month or whatever. And I should go by there one day and ask them how their Wi-Fi is and if it's dependable, and then try running it, see how much they charge me to run a show out of there. If it wasn't much, I could do it. You know what I mean? Take a green screen. They may have one. Oh, man, I'm getting myself pumped up now. That'd be cool. Jeff says, be a sad day. Well, I don't know about sad. It'll be tough for the talent, the crew, people who make their living off that company. That would, yeah, absolutely. For the fans, there'd be other stuff. Listen, I've been a fan of things that don't last forever. So, I mean, my favorite shows of all time have ended. I got reruns. I go back and watch them. You know what I mean? My stuff is never gone, right? I got 11 long boxes of comic books in my closet. I've got comic books everywhere in my house, man. My wife will tell you, all right? My childhood's never gone. Nothing's really ever gone. I got stuff to watch. I got stuff to read. My memories are always going to be there. When the Beatles stopped touring, I remember John, well, remember like I was there, but John said, well, you know, a lot of people are not going to be able to see us live anymore. And I'm sorry about that. But, you know, you still got the records. You can still listen to us. It's got a point. Got a point. Well, kids, see that, Chris? I got to get back on your show, man. I got to get back on your show. Thank you, dude. Let's set something up. Message me. Let's set something up. Let's try to pull it off. I'm in much better shape than I was a year ago at this time to set something up. Okay. I'm a lot more flexible. One more. Chad says that'd be the awesome stuff show, you and Chris, because any one of your guests or his are missing out. Oh, dude, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you're right about what Chris said about Chris' show. And I appreciate you saying that about mine. I'm going to go, kids. I'm going to look up the thing with Chris. I'm going to post a photo of my brand new bass. It's a Jackson, and I named her. The bass is a Jackson, and her first name ain't Baby. It's Janet. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. I named my basses. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, kids, I'm getting out of here. Do me a favor. Everybody have the best weekend of all time. All right. Watch yourself some pro wrestling. Read a comic book or 5. Okay. Do it for me. Watch some stuff. I appreciate you. If you don't subscribe to Tom Clark 6M podcast, or if you do, you know that I didn't put out a show this week. My humblest apologies. I've only missed 2 weeks that I can recall. Okay. The 1 week I got COVID, and then 1 week where something else was going on. So this is the 3rd time I've not put out a show. It's returning next week. I've got episodes pre-recorded. I've been putting out a new episode Tuesday. So thanks for being patient. I got some messages on that. So thanks. And again, apologies. Had a lot going on this week, but it will return next week. Subscribe to the 6M podcast and to the main event on all your favorite platforms. We're there. I promise you. Subscribe, download today, enjoy the shows. Thanks for always supporting everybody. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. We'll see you right back here next week. And yeah, thanks again as always for your support. We'll see you soon. Where's my hand? Right there, baby. Have a great one. Tom Clark's main event. Thank you, Facebook.